Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Welcome to episode 2000 ish. I thought long and hard about what I could do to commemorate the 2000th episode. I thought I would be able to maybe put together some sort of, uh, you know, I don't know, epic video, whatever. Like, we hit a milestone. How do we celebrate it? And what I realized was, I think the best way to celebrate it is by not, because it's just a number. So I made myself this amazing commemorative plaque. That's it. That's the celebration. Because when it comes down to it, uh, it's not really that special, right? Like, yeah, it's a round number. It's a thousands. It's two of them. That's a big deal. Like, but it's also, how is it any better than Monday, 1996? Like, what? Why is 2000 any different? I don't know. So the best way I think for me to commemorate it is to just not. I mean, there's things I thought about, like, looking back on over these years, that I realized that the years are the thing that's really more important to me. And I think for that reason, next week, I will do the idea I've been talking about where I will, starting episode 2001 on Monday, on Christmas Day, we're going to talk about my 2021 or my 2001. Because I think that I can tell some interesting stories about my early adult life based on the episode number. So we'll do that. The other thing is, for those of you who have been here for any length of time, you might be aware that this isn't really technically episode 2000. I have missed between two and maybe five or six episodes. I'm not really sure. I didn't count. But there's been two to five, two to four, I don't know. There's been some number of episodes that I missed that I forgot. I just didn't record that day, like totally skipped. And instead of adjusting the numbering, I just kept it so that it, on the Friday, it's always divisible by five. I just kept the numbering scheme going based on the date as opposed to, or the day of the week as opposed to the actual episode. So this is really like episode 1997. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But we've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm very appreciative of that. And over the last few years, at least 5 years, I haven't changed the show at all. In the early days, I tried a whole lot of things. You can look on this wall behind me and you can see stuff that people mailed in. I don't think you can see, well, you can see the old screen print. I used to make t-shirts. I sold t-shirts, maybe five of them, maybe six. I didn't sell very many of those. Behind there, I'll try to get a picture. There's the wall of postcards. I was asking people to send me postcards, and I had the Daily Shed postcards I would send back. I used to have the soundboard sitting here that I would play. I'd ask for, like, so over the years, over the first year, maybe year and a half, I really put everything I had into this. I was really trying to turn this into something. And it kept coming back to this. It kept coming back to the only thing I have the energy for is to turn the camera on and just talk about my life, talk about my day, talk about what's going through my head, talk about games that I've played and books that I've read. And the fact of the matter is, I am not an interesting person. I'm just a regular dude doing regular dude stuff. I don't have a fancy lifestyle. I don't have amazing things going on all the time. I don't live in an area where I could take you to shows constantly. And so it's turned into just a journal. And I'm more than happy with that, right? Like, I honestly believe that if this had turned out to be the thing I wanted it to be, if this had turned out to be a larger production, I would not have had room in my life for it. I would not have been able to continue it for 2,000 episodes. It would have died on the vine because I would have been overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, I just abandon. That's just what I do. So I'm happy. I'm happy that it has maintained the slow and steady pace of me just talking about my life every day. to a couple of friends, to a handful of friends, and that means the world to me that you keep coming back and you keep watching. And some of you watch every episode, some of you watch a couple a month, some of you watch a couple a year. For all of you, thank you for being here for all this time, because it really, though I have learned that I'm not really seeking validation. It's not about validation anymore. In the beginning, it definitely was. In the beginning of all of the things I've attempted to do in my life, board game design, writing, this thing, uh, even the board game videos, the intention there was validate me, show me that what I'm doing is valuable, and I'll continue to do it. I don't do that for this anymore. Uh, it's not what it's about. What I've discovered is it's not about validation, it's about friendship. And I've made some very good friendships over this platform over the past 7.5 years. It'll be 8 years in March. Over the last 2,000 episodes, I've made some really good friendships along the way. And I'm super appreciative and thankful for that. And I, I don't want it to ever stop. I talked earlier this year that I was done, that 2000 we were going to call it quits. That's not the case. If we look at my YouTube career, this channel in specific, it started off for the first 6 months of me doing this. It was on an upswing. Actually, for the first year and a half, most of that upswing was still the time capsule video. By the vast majority of the 24,000 subscribers I have right now were all that one video, and those people don't watch any of these videos. I would say that I probably have an honest 100 subscribers, and the other 24 whatever are just, they're dust in the wind. But my early videos, I was getting 60 to 150 views per video. I'm now getting 10. Last year I was getting 30. The year before that I was getting 40. I'm now getting 10. 5 to 10 views, which means that it's really just the 5 to 10 of you that are here that I'm doing this for. But the reality is, I'm not doing this for the 5 to 10 of you. I'm doing it for me. And I think that's what makes it special, right? Not this number on a box, but just the fact that I continue to do something that brings value to my life. And if it brings value to the 5 to 10 of you that watch, that's like just extra, right? It's not about that validation anymore. I don't need the validation. So I stopped asking for postcards. I stopped asking for you to mail stuff in. I stopped asking for you to call me and leave a voicemail that we could play on the air. I stopped asking for you to share your wins so that I could talk about them on the show. I stopped trying to make this a show, because I realized it's not about that. I don't need that validation. That's not what this is about. This is just about friendship. And that's who you are to me. You're my friends. There's a reason why I say it at the beginning of every show. The reason why I say hello, friends, because I truly feel that way. I feel like if the 5 to 10 of you who watch these episodes, if we all got together in a room, we would all be really good friends. We would all have a great time. And maybe someday we can pull that off. That would be cool. Maybe at episode 5,000, I'll bring everybody together. I don't know. Thankful for that, though. Thank you for stopping by all these 2,000 episodes. We're going to continue to go. So, again, this number is just like, it's, number one, it's fake. It's false. Number two, it's just, there'll be 2001. So what does this mean? This means on Monday, we're going to trump this number. Who cares? That's not a big deal. I think that's the best way to celebrate it. Just saying thanks. Thank you for all the things that you've done for me over the years. I'm going to continue to do this. I have heard repeatedly that for people, even people who don't watch the show regularly, they're still inspired that I continue to do it. They're inspired by the idea that I continue to do it. They're not inspired by the show itself, and they're not going to stick around to watch these things. I'm honestly surprised that any of you do. But they're inspired that I continue. So here we go. Let's continue. Yeah. No big plans this weekend. doing Christmas stuff. What are you up to? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again Monday. Today's word you should know to sound smart is tawdry. It is an adjective meaning gaudy, showy, and cheap as clothes, or base and mean as motives. Far from being the basis of the good society, the family with its narrow privacy and tawdry secrets is the source of all our discontents. Sir Edmund Leach, a British author. Tawdry, Tawdry. I always thought that word carried like a sense of sexualness, like inappropriateness. Is that not the case?